Chosen one. You are not here by coincidence. Heaven scheduled this moment with precision, and your spirit was led to this message because something divine, something life-altering is already unfolding around you. Even now, the atmosphere is shifting. The ground beneath your feet is vibrating with prophetic movement. You are standing at the edge of a supernatural breakthrough, a sudden elevation, a divine wealth transfer, a heaven-sent relocation that will place you exactly where your destiny has been calling you. Anointed One. The work you have done in silence, the integrity you kept when no one was watching, the kindness you gave without applause, all of it has summoned a response from the realms of the unseen. A wealthy stranger has been stirred not by coincidence, but by divine orchestration. Their spirit has been nudged toward you because God is aligning the pieces of your next chapter with surgical accuracy. This is the appointed time spoken of in Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 3, the moment when what was whispered becomes visible, when what was delayed becomes unstoppable. Chosen one, take a breath. Open your heart, because from this moment forward, you are stepping into the supernatural current of your elevation. Chosen one. Stay with me now, because what is unfolding around you is not ordinary, not random, not the result of coincidence or luck. You are standing inside a divine pattern that has been forming quietly, almost invisibly for years. And though you may not have recognized it, every act of kindness, every moment of integrity, every silent sacrifice has been recorded in the unseen. I know what it feels like to move through life, believing no one notices the way you keep choosing light, even when surrounded by shadows. I have walked through seasons where it seemed like my effort vanished into the air, where the good I sowed returned to me as silence. But chosen one, there comes a moment, just like the moment you are living in, when heaven reveals that nothing was wasted, nothing was ignored, and nothing was forgotten. You have been creating ripples far beyond what your eyes could see. Your presence shifts rooms, your voice brings clarity, and your resilience carries an anointing that others can feel, even if they cannot explain it. And somewhere along your journey, an influential soul, someone with access, resources, and spiritual sensitivity, saw something in you that they could not overlook. They felt your authenticity before they understood your story. They recognized your sincerity before they ever learned your name. That is why you have been chosen not by chance, but by divine appointment. Anointed One. Your whole life has been shaped by tests you did not know you were taking. Tests of character, tests of patience, tests of compassion. I remember a moment in my own journey when I held the door for a stranger on a day when my spirit was exhausted, and later discovered that the small act I almost brushed aside altered the trajectory of my life. It wasn't the action itself. Anyone could hold a door. It was the posture of my heart in that moment. You have done the same without realizing it. Maybe it was a word of encouragement spoken while you were hurting yourself. Maybe it was the way you remained kind to someone who offered you nothing in return. Maybe it was the way you stood your ground when dishonesty would have been easier. These choices became spiritual signatures, markers of who you truly are beneath the surface, and the wealthy stranger who noticed you wasn't looking at your appearance or your status, but at your spirit. They saw the rare blend of strength and humility that cannot be faked. They saw the energy of someone who carries a mission bigger than themselves. They sensed a calling resting on you that even you have struggled to articulate. Chosen One. Many like us have lived in places that never matched our frequency. You have walked through rooms that felt too small for your spirit, environments that resisted your growth, communities that misunderstood your depth, and yet you stayed faithful. Even when the soil was unfriendly, you kept producing fruit. Even when the atmosphere tried to dim you, you kept shining in your quiet way. I know the weight of that. I've survived seasons where I felt misplaced, unseen, and underappreciated. But those seasons were never punishment. They were preparation. They were the divine hiding that Scripture alludes to when God protects the anointed before revealing them. And now that season for you is ending. The stranger who has their eyes on you feels an unexplainable pull because heaven itself is tugging at their spirit. They may not understand why they feel responsible for your elevation, why your name keeps returning to their mind, why your presence lingers with them long after a single encounter. But a shift is taking place, and someone with the authority to change your environment has been spiritually activated on your behalf. Anointed One, this is the moment when everything begins to align. You may have felt delayed, overlooked, or forgotten, but divine timing does not operate on human calendars. What is happening now was written long before you felt ready for it. Something you did, something pure, something sincere, unlocked a door in the unseen. And now heaven is guiding the right person at the right time with the right resources to relocate you into the environment where your purpose can fully breathe. Take this in gently but seriously. You are not being removed from where you are. You are being placed where you belong. Chosen One. Breathe for a moment and allow your spirit to settle into what is unfolding, because the transition you are stepping into is not simply a change of scenery or opportunity. It is a divine recalibration of your entire atmosphere. There are shifts that happen gradually, almost silently, and then there are shifts like this one sudden, precise, undeniable, initiated by heaven itself. You may not have asked for it, but your life, your heart, and your choices summoned this rearrangement. You have been walking with a level of integrity that cannot be taught, a depth of compassion that cannot be imitated, and a quiet strength that only comes from being processed in the hidden places. I know what it feels like to live faithfully, even when your surroundings do not reflect your inner growth. I've stood in seasons where I felt too big for the environment I was in, where my vision stretched farther than the horizon in front of me, where my soul whispered, "There has to be more," even when there was no evidence of change. That whisper, Chosen One, was not dissatisfaction, it was prophecy. It was heaven telling you that your assignment would one day transcend the space you were surviving in. Anointed One, you have been misunderstood in ways that cut deeper than you let people see. You've been overlooked by those who should have recognized your brilliance first. You've been underappreciated by those who benefited most from your presence. And yet, instead of shrinking or hardening your heart, you continued to give, to uplift, to serve, to speak life. That is why heaven has released this divine intervention. What you are stepping into is not a reward for perfection, it is a response to consistency. People react to what they see, but God responds to what is unseen. Your endurance, your faithfulness, your unseen tears, your quiet victories, your humility when pride would have been justified, your patience when anger would have been easy. And now, as this wealthy, influential stranger prepares to alter your life in ways you have not imagined, understand that they are not coming into your story to rescue you. They are coming because heaven instructed them to make room for someone like you. Someone rare, someone tested, someone chosen. Think back over your journey for a moment. Consider the conversations you thought were insignificant, the encounters that felt too brief to matter, the small acts of kindness you extended without expecting anything in return. Sometimes destiny hides in moments that look ordinary. I once crossed paths with a person I barely spoke to, someone I assumed would forget me by the end of the day. Years later, that individual became a bridge to an opportunity that shifted the course of my life. Not because I sought their favor, but because something in my presence made an imprint I didn't realize I was leaving. Chosen one, that is exactly what happened to you. A stranger, wealthy, discerning, spiritually attuned, caught a glimpse of your spirit, and something awakened in them. Something said, "Pay attention. This one is different. This one is aligned. This one carries destiny." When people of influence move, they do not move impulsively. They move when their spirit is stirred, and your life stirred something in theirs. Anointed one. Many chosen ones experience a long season of feeling out of place. You've felt like you are constantly shrinking yourself to fit rooms that were never designed for your capacity. You've been surrounded by people who saw your actions, but not your anointing, who admired your talent, but were unaware of your calling. You survived environments that were too small for your growth because divine timing had not yet released you. But that time has now arrived. Your relocation is not about escape. It is about expansion. You are being moved not because you failed in your current environment, but because you have outgrown it. A plant cannot thrive when the pot becomes too small and your spirit has been pressing against the edges of your surroundings, signaling that elevation is overdue. Chosen one. Understand this: heaven often hides its warriors until the appointed time. You were concealed, not forgotten, shielded, not ignored, protected, not rejected. I know the feeling of being prepared quietly, away from applause, away from recognition, away from validation. It can feel lonely, confusing, even painful. But looking back, I realized something profound. Had I been elevated too soon, I would have entered rooms I was not equipped to sustain. The same is true for you. Your hidden season wasn't punishment, it was insulation. Every delay was divine strategy, every closed door was protection, and every quiet moment was shaping you for the place you are about to enter. Now the stranger who has been observing you feels the timing shift, even if they cannot explain it. They feel compelled to act. They feel drawn to help you. They feel responsible for elevating you. This is not admiration, it is assignment. This is not coincidence, it is covenant alignment. And the environment you are being moved into is a place where your gift will breathe, where your calling will flourish, where your spirit will finally feel at home. Chosen one. What is coming is not just change, it is recognition, it is alignment, it is divine placement, and it is your time. Chosen one. As this divine unfolding continues, I want you to understand something deeply spiritual. Nothing in your story has been accidental. Every moment of discomfort, every season where you felt misplaced, every stretch that pushed your spirit beyond what you thought you could handle, these were not random hardships. They were divine calibrations, preparing you to stand in a place of influence without losing your humility, to carry abundance without losing your compassion, and to walk in elevation without losing your grounding. I know how heavy those seasons can feel. I've walked through deserts where my prayers felt like whispers swallowed by the wind. I've lived through nights where I questioned whether the path I was on even mattered. But looking back, I can tell you with certainty the hardest parts of your journey were shaping the softest, strongest, and most necessary parts of your spirit. And now, heaven is revealing why. Anointed one, you may have believed for years that no one truly saw you. Not the depth of your efforts, not the purity of your intention, not the internal battles you fought while still showing up for others, but someone did see you. someone with eyes trained by experience, someone with a spirit sensitive enough to detect authenticity in a world drowning in pretense. And more importantly, heaven saw you. The wealthy stranger, now being divinely positioned to relocate you, isn't responding to your external actions alone. They are responding to the frequency of your soul. You carry a rare combination of sincerity and endurance, and it is that combination that caught their attention. Think of how many people they meet every day, ambitious, charming, strategic people who present their best selves in hopes of receiving something, yet none of them drew this kind of response. But you simply, by being who you are, awakened something in their spirit. This is the kind of recognition that cannot be manufactured. It is heaven orchestrated. You may wonder why now. Why not years ago? Why didn't breakthrough arrive when you were praying the hardest? Why didn't opportunities open when you felt most desperate? Chosen one. Divine timing is rarely aligned with emotional timing. Elevation comes not when you want it most, but when you are prepared to sustain it. I have lived long enough to see that doors open only when the internal structure of a person is ready to hold what is behind them. When I was younger, I prayed for opportunities my character was not yet strong enough to carry, and God, in mercy, withheld them. Later, when my spirit matured, when my heart learned humility, when my resilience deepened, those same opportunities found me effortlessly. The same principle is operating in your life right now. You were not denied, you were developed. Anointed One. One of the most underestimated truths of spiritual journey is that being hidden is a blessing. You felt unseen, but heaven was building you. You felt overlooked, but God was preserving you. You felt delayed, but your wings were forming. Had you been revealed too early, you might have attracted the wrong alliances, the wrong connections, the wrong environments. Your calling is too valuable to be mishandled. Your anointing is too precious to be exploited. There are rooms where your presence would have been celebrated, but your purpose would have been crushed. And so heaven shielded you. Even the times you thought you were failing were actually times you were being protected. I know how difficult it is to embrace this truth while you're still in the middle of the process. But I promise you, there comes a moment where the veil lifts and you finally understand why you had to walk the path you walked. Chosen One. Let me share a moment from my own journey. Years ago, I worked tirelessly in an environment that never recognized my worth. I poured energy, wisdom, and compassion into spaces that treated my presence as optional. Meanwhile, someone I barely knew observed me from a distance, someone with influence I didn't realize they carried. One day, without warning, that person opened a door for me that changed everything. And when I asked why, they simply said, "I saw how you treated people when no one applauded you." That sentence became a revelation. It taught me that destiny often watches quietly, waiting for small acts of faithfulness to confirm your readiness for something greater. Chosen One. You are living in that revelation right now. Your consistency has spoken for you louder than any self-promotion ever could. And now the wealthy stranger who has been stirred on your behalf is not choosing you by impulse. They are choosing you by confirmation. They saw your resilience when life tried to break you. They saw your kindness in moments where bitterness would have been justified. They saw your dignity in environments unworthy of your presence. And they felt the nudge of heaven saying, "This one is ready." Elevate them. Anointed One, don't underestimate the power of environment. A seed can be perfect, but in the wrong soil, it cannot flourish. You have been a seed carrying an orchard within you, trapped in soil that could not nourish your potential. This relocation is not about luxury. It is about alignment. It is heaven placing you in soil designed for your calling. You are being moved to a place where your gifts can breathe, your spirit can expand, and your destiny can finally unfold without resistance. Chosen one, prepare yourself. Something extraordinary is approaching, and it has your name on it. Chosen one. As we move deeper into this revelation, I want you to understand something profoundly important. Divine elevation is never just about being noticed. It is about being positioned. And heaven is positioning you with a precision that defies logic. The wealthy stranger who has been stirred by your presence is not operating from mere admiration. They are moving under spiritual influence, guided by a divine nudge they cannot ignore. When heaven chooses to elevate someone, it rarely announces the process. It works quietly, rearranging hearts, redirecting footsteps, aligning circumstances, and preparing the right people to play their part at the right time. You are living in that alignment now, whether you fully grasp it or not. There is something about your spirit, chosen one, that releases a fragrance uncommon in this world, a fragrance of sincerity, resilience, humility, and truth. People of influence can sense authenticity long before they understand it. They are surrounded by individuals who chase them for status validation or personal gain, yet your presence did the opposite. You weren't chasing anything. You were simply being yourself, grounded, genuine, steady. And in a world full of noise, that level of clarity stands out like a beacon. I remember a moment in my own life when I crossed paths with someone who carried great authority. I didn't try to impress them. I didn't try to perform. I was simply living from a place of integrity. Months later, they reached out to me, telling me my energy had left a mark on their spirit. At the time, I didn't even realize they were paying attention. That experience taught me something deep. Destiny watches from the shadows before it reveals itself in the light. Anointed one. You may think the good you've done went unnoticed, but heaven saw every seed you planted. You may think your kindness was too small to matter, but divine elevation is often triggered by the smallest acts of righteousness. You may believe the world overlooked your worth, but the world does not determine your anointing, God does. And God has whispered your name into the heart of someone who has the capacity to shift your entire environment. Think of how many people dream of encounters like this, how many chase the wealthy, the powerful, the influential, in hopes of securing opportunities. Yet, here you are, chosen not because you pursued them, but because you carried something they didn't even know they were seeking. Chosen one. You've been walking through life with a sense that you don't fully belong where you are. You've outgrown conversations, outgrown atmospheres, outgrown the expectations others projected onto you. Your spirit has been expanding quietly, stretching towards something greater, even when your surroundings felt small. That feeling of being out of place was not a flaw, it was prophecy. It was heaven telling you that your current environment was temporary. You were not meant to remain confined in a space that could not sustain your calling. The wealthy stranger, sensing your potential, is simply responding to the same truth heaven whispered over you long ago. You are meant for more. There comes a moment in every chosen one's journey when divine timing begins to accelerate. Doors that were once closed begin opening without effort. People who ignored you suddenly take notice. Opportunities that seemed impossible begin aligning like puzzle pieces falling into place. This is not coincidence. This is confirmation. Just as a master conductor raises their hand to signal a shift in the symphony, heaven has lifted its hand over your life, initiating a new movement, a new rhythm, a new flow. And what is happening right now is the opening of that divine crescendo. Anointed one. Let me share this truth with you gently yet boldly. You did not stumble into this moment, you grew into it. Every hardship that should have broken you only strengthened you. Every betrayal that should have hardened you only purified you. Every delay that should have discouraged you only deepened your patience. Heaven has used everything, even the painful things, to sculpt the version of you that is now ready for relocation, elevation, and expansion. I have lived through seasons where I lost everything I thought I needed, only to later discover that those losses were clearing space for blessings I wasn't yet prepared to receive. You are stepping into that kind of season now, and the wealthy stranger who has been moved toward you is not coming to fix your life. They are coming to usher you into the environment where your life can flourish. They are not the source, they are the vessel. They are not the miracle, they are the messenger. They are being compelled by heaven to lift you, position you, and place you where your voice, your presence, and your purpose can finally stretch without restriction. Chosen one, take this into your spirit. The shift is not coming, it has already begun. Chosen one, as we continue, I want you to feel the weight of what heaven is doing in your life right now. This is not a seasonal shift. It is a life-altering repositioning that has been building for years beneath the surface of your awareness. You may have thought you were just surviving, enduring, navigating life the best you could, but heaven was writing a narrative far more intentional than you ever imagined. And now the storyline that once felt fragmented is coming together with prophetic clarity. The wealthy stranger who has been stirred in your direction is not merely noticing you, they are being spiritually drawn to you, compelled by a force greater than human logic. When heaven decides it is your time, even the hearts of those who do not know your story begin to align with your destiny. Anointed one. You must understand that there is a sound your spirit carries, a frequency shaped through fire, humility, endurance, and compassion. This sound is not heard with natural ears, it is discerned with spiritual sensitivity. People of wealth and influence are often surrounded by noise, by individuals who speak loudly but carry no depth. Yet your presence, your energy, your quiet dignity cuts through that noise like a sacred whisper. Without trying, you stand out. Without performing, you leave an imprint. Without seeking attention, you attract destiny. I have seen this truth play out in my own life. There were seasons when I felt invisible, undervalued, and overlooked. Yet someone in a position of authority saw something in me I didn't realize was visible. They saw endurance where I felt exhaustion, strength where I felt stretched, and purpose where I felt pressure. That's the mystery of divine selection. Others may not see what you carry until the one meant to elevate you is divinely guided to recognize it. Chosen one, you have passed tests you didn't know you were taking. Maybe you showed kindness to someone who had nothing to give back. Maybe you stayed true to your values when compromise would have been easier. Maybe you kept going when everything around you suggested quitting. These moments were not random. They were spiritual markers. They revealed the authenticity of your spirit. They proved that your character is forged, not fragile. And heaven responds to that kind of integrity. The wealthy stranger who is stepping into your life sensed this depth in you. They saw something rare, something money can't buy, status can't manufacture, and influence can't mimic. They saw truth. They saw purity of intention. They saw destiny in motion. Anointed one. Let's speak honestly for a moment. There have been seasons where you felt deeply out of place. You tried to make environments work that were never designed for your spirit. You tried to stay small to make others comfortable. You tried to silence parts of yourself so you wouldn't intimidate people who were never meant to understand you. I know that feeling intimately. I've lived in spaces where I felt like a visitor in my own life, where my spirit kept whispering, "There is more," even when my surroundings suggested less. That whisper was not restlessness, it was revelation. It was heaven hinting that your roots were meant to be planted elsewhere in soil, capable of nourishing the magnitude of your calling. Chosen one. This relocation, this divine repositioning, is not about luxury, status, or escape. It is about alignment. The soil you're in has become too restrictive for the seed you carry. Your potential has outgrown your environment. Your dreams have outgrown your atmosphere. Your spirit has outgrown the limitations placed on you by circumstance, community, or familiarity. A seed that stays in a small pot will never become the tree it was destined to be. And you, anointed one, were always meant to grow taller, stand stronger, and cast a wider shade than your old environment could sustain. This is why heaven has touched the heart of someone with influence. Not because you need saving, but because your mission requires a stage, a structure, a setting capable of elevating what God has placed inside you. This stranger is not being moved by sympathy, they are being moved by assignment. They feel a divine responsibility to open a door, create a pathway, or lift you into the environment where your purpose can breathe without suffocation. They may not even understand why they feel this pull, but the pull is real. It is heaven's hand guiding them, orchestrating their steps like a conductor guiding a symphony. Anointed one. You must prepare your spirit for this level of elevation. New environments require new mindsets. Divine opportunities require divine readiness. Heaven does not relocate someone without also transforming them internally. The person you're becoming is perfectly suited for the place you're going. Everything that felt heavy, unnecessary, or painful in past seasons was shaping the version of you capable of carrying what is coming. And what is coming is not small, it is not modest, it is not accidental, it is purposeful, intentional, and spiritually engineered. Chosen one, lift your head, steady your heart, and open your spirit, because heaven is not only opening a door for you, it is pushing you through it. Chosen one. As we step into this next part of the revelation, let your spirit be still enough to recognize the magnitude of what is unfolding. Too often we underestimate the significance of divine preparation because it feels ordinary while it's happening. We mistake the stretching for struggle, the pruning for punishment, and the waiting for abandonment. But heaven has never been absent from your journey. The delays were divine timing. The detours were divine protection. The disappointments were divine pruning. And now the breakthrough is divine fulfillment. You are arriving at a threshold your spirit has sensed for years, even when your mind could not explain it. And this wealthy stranger being positioned to relocate you is not the beginning of your blessing. It is the manifestation of a process heaven initiated long before you realized you were chosen. Anointed one. Your steps have been ordered with more precision than you know. There were moments when you thought you were wandering, but you were being guided. There were days when you felt forgotten, but you were being hidden. There were seasons when nothing made sense, but everything was aligning. Heaven is not chaotic. God is not reactive. Every person you met, every loss you endured, every opportunity that slipped away, every environment that felt too small, these were puzzle pieces. And now the picture they form is becoming clear. The wealthy individual who has been drawn to your spirit is responding not just to who you are today, but to every layer of destiny that has been built in you across the years. They are sensing the maturity of someone who has survived storms without bitterness, carried burdens without breaking, and walked through fire without losing their faith. Chosen one. There is something profoundly magnetic about a spirit that refuses to be hardened by hardship. Pain can make many people guarded, cynical, or self-focused, but your pain refined you instead of ruining you. You learn to see through the eyes of compassion. You learn to listen with depth. You learn to give, even when life tried to empty you. And wealthy people, people who have seen much, gained much, and lost much, are often drawn not to status or beauty, but to authenticity and peace. What you carry cannot be bought. It cannot be imitated. It cannot be mass-produced. It is the fragrance of someone who has stayed true to themselves in a world that constantly tries to reshape them. I remember someone once telling me, people of influence can buy almost everything except sincerity. That sentence stayed with me for years. And chosen one, that is precisely why this stranger noticed you. In a world full of noise, your presence felt like clarity. In a world full of pretense, your humility felt like truth. In a world full of hurry, your steadiness felt like a sanctuary. You didn't know you were being observed, yet every step you took was a sermon, one that preached integrity, resilience, and divine purpose. And heaven highlighted you in their spirit, because heaven has written your name into the blueprint of their next assignment. Anointed one. This relocation is not just a shift in geography, it is a shift in identity. It will call forth parts of you that were dormant, gifts that were overlooked, abilities that were undervalued. You have been a giant living in a small room. You have been a voice echoing in spaces too narrow to carry the weight of your calling. Where you are going, you will not need permission to shine. You will not need to shrink to make others comfortable. You will not need to dim your light to keep the peace. The environment heaven is moving you into will demand your fullness, not your fragments. It will require your wisdom, not your silence. It will honor your depth, not exploit it. And as much as this stranger is stepping into your life as a vessel of blessing, understand that you are stepping into theirs as well. Divine connections are never one-sided. Heaven does not simply send someone to uplift you without also positioning you to uplift them in ways they may not yet recognize. There is something in your spirit that speaks to something in theirs. You are an answer to a question their soul has been asking for years. You are a stabilizing presence their world has been missing. You are a reminder of purpose in a life that may have been overwhelmed by pressure, responsibility, or spiritual emptiness. Do not underestimate the weight of what you carry, chosen one. The reason you have always felt different is because you are, not in a way that isolates you, but in a way that distinguishes you. You have never belonged to the common. You have always been set apart for the uncommon. And set apart, people are often misunderstood until the moment heaven unveils them. That unveiling is happening now. The divine timing long whispered in your spirit is no longer approaching, it is here. Anointed one, steady yourself. The ground beneath you is shifting, not to destabilize you, but to elevate you. And heaven is making sure you do not rise alone. Someone has been commanded to lift you. Chosen one. As we continue deeper into this divine unfolding, let your heart absorb this truth. Elevation does not begin when you arrive in the new place. It begins when heaven decides your season has changed, and your season has already shifted. Even if your surroundings look the same, even if your daily routine hasn't transformed yet, the spiritual decree has been issued. What happens in the natural is simply catching up to what has already been established in the unseen. This is why your spirit feels restless, awakened, stretched, and stirred. This is why familiar spaces suddenly feel too small, too quiet, too limiting. It is because your destiny has outgrown your environment. And heaven, in its perfect orchestration, has chosen someone with the authority and resources to move you into the next dimension of your calling. Anointed One. The wealthy stranger drawn to you is not responding to chance, they are responding to divine assignment. They feel the pull, the responsibility, the urgency, even if they cannot articulate it. They may not understand why they feel compelled to help you, support you, or reposition you, but that's because heaven often stirs action before it explains purpose. Think back on your own life. Haven't you ever been prompted to help someone for reasons you couldn't explain? Haven't you ever felt led to give, to encourage, to protect, to guide, not because the person asked, but because something in your spirit insisted? This stranger is experiencing that same spiritual insistence concerning you. Heaven has whispered your name into their consciousness. Heaven has aligned their path with yours. Heaven has charged them with the task of lifting you into the atmosphere where your destiny can fully unfold. Chosen One. There is something about your presence that ignites recognition in people who are spiritually awake. They can sense that you are not ordinary, even if you've spent years trying to blend in. They can feel the weight of your calling, even if you've questioned your own purpose. They can detect the purity of your heart, even if others have misunderstood you. People who operate at higher levels of awareness, whether spiritually or in worldly influence, have the ability to perceive what most people overlook. They notice character more than charisma. They notice integrity more than image. They notice energy more than effort. And what you have carried all your life is the energy of someone destined for impact, someone who walks with a sense of mission even when they don't have the language for it, someone whose very existence disrupts the ordinary. Anointed One. Let's speak plainly. Your life has not been easy because your calling is not small. Many chosen ones experience intense spiritual resistance, relational misunderstandings, financial strain, emotional storms, and seasons of isolation, not because they are cursed, but because they are being sculpted. Heaven cannot place someone in a position of influence without first preparing them to carry influence with humility and wisdom. And you, Chosen One, have been walking through preparation your whole life. The people who betrayed you were sharpening your discernment. The opportunities you lost were shaping your patience. The environments that rejected you were refining your identity. The battles that tested you were strengthening your spirit. You were not being broken, you were being built. And now the stranger stepping into your story represents more than a human decision. They represent a divine turning point. They have been instructed to lift you, to reposition you, to move you into fertile soil. But understand this clearly, they are not coming to save you. Heaven has already saved you, sustained you, and carried you through seasons that would have crushed others. This person is coming to participate in your elevation, not initiate it. They are a vessel, not the source. They are a door, not the destination. They are an instrument, not the composer. Chosen One. I want to share something personal with you. I once walked through a period of life where every effort seemed fruitless. Nothing I built seemed stable. Nothing I prayed for seemed to manifest. I felt unseen in my calling and misplaced in my environment. And then, out of nowhere, someone I had barely noticed stepped forward to open a door I didn't even know existed. They didn't come because I impressed them. They didn't come because I asked. They came because they were spiritually led to do so. That moment changed the trajectory of my life, not because the person was extraordinary, but because heaven had chosen them as the bridge to my next season. That is what is happening to you right now. This wealthy stranger is your bridge, your divine connector, your heaven-sent link to the next chapter of your destiny. Anointed one, this relocation, this elevation, this opening is not random. It is purposeful, timely, and spiritually engineered. You are being moved into an environment where your gifts will speak louder, your voice will carry further, and your presence will have greater impact. The room you are about to enter requires the version of you that has been forged in fire. The elevation you are stepping into demands the resilience you gained through adversity. Nothing was wasted. Everything was preparation. Chosen one. Breathe this truth into your spirit. Heaven is not asking you if you are ready. Heaven is declaring that you are. Chosen one. As we continue into this next movement of revelation, I want you to truly feel the depth of what heaven has been orchestrating behind the scenes. You are not entering a season of random blessings. You are entering a season of divine compensation. Everything that was lost, delayed, stolen, or overlooked is now being gathered, restructured, and returned to you in a form that will make sense only in hindsight. And the wealthy stranger being pulled toward your life is not only a sign of elevation, it is a sign that heaven is settling accounts in your favor. You have sown seeds in the dark, and heaven has chosen this moment to bring the harvest into the light. This stranger is simply one of the vessels heaven will use to fulfill what has already been written concerning you. Anointed one. The spiritual realm recognizes your name even when the earthly realm fails to. There have been angels assigned to your journey long before you understood the weight of your calling. There were moments when danger approached and you felt a sudden shift within you, an intuition, a warning, a nudge, a sense of being protected. That was heaven covering you because your story was not meant to end in those moments. You were preserved for purpose. You were protected for destiny. You were hidden for the appointed time, and now that time is unfolding. Chosen one, you must understand the beauty and mystery of divine timing. You could not be elevated earlier because your spirit needed depth. You could not be repositioned sooner because your discernment needed sharpening. You could not step into greater environments until your inner foundation was strong enough to withstand them. The places you are about to enter will require you to carry yourself with clarity, dignity, and spiritual awareness. Had you entered prematurely, you would have absorbed the wrong influences, aligned with the wrong people, or settled for roles far beneath your true capacity. Heaven waited until you matured into the version of yourself who could discern truth from deception, purpose from distraction, divine connections from temporary attachments. Anointed one. Let's address something many chosen ones never speak about: the silent ache of being overlooked. You poured into people who did not pour back. You loved deeply those who offered you shallow affection. You supported others while receiving very little support yourself. You carried burdens that were heavier than your size, simply because your heart would not allow you to let anything fall apart. You have been the strong one, the steady one, the one others counted on, even when you had no one to lean on. And yet, through every lonely stretch, heaven was watching. Your sacrifice was seen, your faithfulness was recorded, and the stranger coming into your life is a sign that heaven is now answering the things you never said out loud. Or, chosen one. There is something sacred about a person who keeps their heart pure despite being surrounded by chaos. Someone who chooses compassion while carrying wounds of their own. Someone who moves in humility even when life tempts them toward bitterness. These qualities do not go unnoticed in the spiritual realm. And wealthy individuals, those who have navigated their own storms, betrayals, disappointments, are drawn not to perfection but to sincerity. They crave authenticity because it is rare. And what you carry is not just authenticity. It is innocence guarded by wisdom. It is purity refined by experience. It is strength wrapped in softness. It is the unmistakable aura of someone heaven has shaped with care. Anointed One. This relocation that is forming around you will do more than change your physical environment. It will change your spiritual posture. It will elevate your expectations. It will expand your thinking. It will awaken gifts you did not know were asleep. You will begin to see yourself through heaven's perspective, rather than through the lens of old environments that could not recognize your worth. You will begin to speak differently, walk differently, and perceive differently, because elevation doesn't just change where you live, it changes how you live. I remember a moment in my own life when I stepped into a new space, physically and spiritually, and suddenly realized how small my previous environment had become. I had grown, but my surroundings had not. I had evolved, but my circle had remained the same. And the moment I stepped into that new atmosphere, something inside me breathed again, something that had been suffocating without my awareness. That is what awaits you. A breath your soul has been waiting to release. A space where your spirit will finally stretch without restriction. Chosen One. The wealthy stranger is not coming to elevate your lifestyle. They are coming to elevate your destiny. They are drawn to you because heaven has impressed your name upon their heart. They are responding to divine instruction, not human emotion. And the alignment that is taking place is irreversible. Once heaven opens a door, no one can shut it. Once heaven moves someone's spirit toward you, no one can redirect it. Once heaven declares a shift, the entire universe adjusts accordingly. Anointed One, prepare yourself. The ground beneath you is changing, and your life is about to rise to meet the calling you were born with. Chosen One. As we move into this next revelation, allow your spirit to recognize how profoundly heaven has been shaping the architecture of your journey. You are stepping into a realm where the unseen becomes visible, where what was whispered in private begins to echo publicly, where what once felt distant is suddenly drawn close. The wealthy stranger aligning with your destiny is not simply a person of means. They are a signpost, a confirmation, a living prophecy of the shift heaven has declared over your life. Their appearance in your story announces that the season of stagnation has ended and the season of supernatural movement has begun. This is not just about relocation, it is about repositioning your identity, realigning your purpose, and reintroducing you to a world that never truly knew your worth. Anointed One. The spiritual realm responds to obedience, humility, and authenticity with a precision that defies human understanding. You have been operating with a purity of intention that many never witnessed, and yet heaven recorded every moment. Your quiet endurance became a frequency that heaven amplified. Your silent sacrifices became seeds heaven protected. Your steadfastness became a fragrance heaven breathed upon. And now that fragrance has reached the awareness of someone positioned to change the trajectory of your life. Understand this: influential people do not act on impulse. When one of them feels drawn to you, stirred by you, or compelled to bless you, it is because heaven touched their heart first. Chosen One. There were times you questioned your worth, because the environments you were placed in did not recognize your value. You felt too deep for shallow spaces, too awake for spiritually numb atmospheres, too compassionate for hardened hearts. You wondered why friendships shifted, why relationships faded, why opportunities dissolved. But heaven was editing your life with divine precision. Every exit was a form of protection. Every disappointment was a redirection. Every loss was a necessary removal. Had some people stayed, they would have diluted your calling. Had some opportunities succeeded, they would have limited your growth. Had some environments embraced you, you might have settled where you were never meant to stay. The wealthy stranger's arrival signals that heaven has completed the pruning, and now the planting season begins. Anointed One, I want you to reflect on something. How many times in your life did you feel an inner prompting that a major shift was coming, even when there was no proof? How often did you wake up with a sense of urgency you couldn't explain? How many moments did you feel heaven whispering, "Prepare yourself," even while your circumstances looked unchanged? Those whispers were not imagination, they were divine announcements. Heaven speaks to your spirit long before it moves your environment. Your sensitivity to those whispers is proof that your spirit has been aligned with heaven, even in seasons when your life felt misaligned with your purpose. And now, the stranger being pulled toward your path has been nudged by that same divine whisper. They may not understand the full spiritual mechanics behind their urge to help you, but they are responding in obedience to something they cannot ignore. Do not underestimate the tug heaven places on a person's heart. When heaven wants a door opened for you, it does not ask permission, it commands alignment. And that is exactly what is happening now. Someone with influence, resources, and authority has been spiritually instructed to make room for you, not because you begged, not because you pursued them, but because heaven has determined that your next chapter requires access you cannot create on your own. Chosen One. This is why divine connections are so powerful. They are orchestrated long before they are revealed. Heaven begins aligning hearts, purposes, and paths years before the individuals involved recognize what is happening. You may have believed you were walking alone, but the truth is, heaven has been preparing your destiny helpers in parallel. While you were learning patience, they were learning generosity. While you were developing resilience, they were developing discernment. While you were healing, they were awakening. And now the timing of your preparation and their readiness is converging. Anointed One. Let me share a personal insight born from my own seasons of breakthrough. Elevation rarely feels like elevation at first. It feels like disruption. It feels like stretching. It feels like unfamiliar territory pulling you out of the comfort you've outgrown. When heaven begins to lift you, it detaches you from what can no longer sustain you. The old surroundings lose their grip. The old emotions lose their power. The old versions of you lose their relevance. And then suddenly an opportunity, a person, or a moment appears that carries the unmistakable signature of divine orchestration. That moment is arriving for you through the presence of this wealthy stranger. Chosen One, embrace this truth with humility and boldness. Heaven has remembered your name, and what is unfolding now is irreversible. Chosen One. As we step deeper into this divine revelation, let your heart recognize that what is happening now is not merely an opportunity, it is a spiritual awakening wrapped in human form. Heaven is not just shifting your environment, heaven is shifting the way the world perceives you. The wealthy stranger being drawn toward your life is not responding to luck, charisma, or coincidence. They are responding to the anointing that rests on your spirit, an anointing that has been cultivated in silence, tested in adversity, and proven through years of endurance. You have carried a quiet brilliance that the wrong people were blind to, but the right person, the divinely assigned person, has finally been positioned to see you clearly. And when destiny sees you, it does not look away. Anointed One. There is a moment in every chosen person's journey when heaven steps in and says, "Enough. It is time. Time for the struggle to cease. Time for the wandering to end. Time for the elevation that has been prophesied over your life to finally manifest. That moment is resting upon you right now. You are not entering a new chapter, you are entering a new book entirely. The narrative of your life is being rewritten with divine ink, and this stranger is one of the first visible signs of heaven's intervention. They feel compelled to assist you because your destiny has called out to theirs. There is a spiritual resonance happening beneath the surface, the kind described in sacred writings, when certain people were drawn to elevate God's chosen servants without fully understanding why. Your life is echoing those same patterns. Chosen one. Let's speak honestly, you have paid a high price to stand where you are. You have endured seasons of betrayal that carved wisdom into your soul. You have faced losses that deepened your compassion. You have walked through fire that refined your purpose. You have been misunderstood, underestimated, and even mistreated, but none of it diminished you. All of it prepared you. Your spirit carries a weight, a maturity, a depth that only comes from surviving battles no one else knew you were fighting. And this wealthy stranger, whether consciously or unconsciously, perceives that depth. They sense that you are someone who can be entrusted with greater responsibility, greater access, greater visibility. Anointed One elevation requires readiness, and heaven has been preparing you through every trial. People often desire promotion without understanding the internal work required to sustain it. But you, whether you realized it or not, have been undergoing divine preparation for years. The endurance you built in quiet seasons will now sustain you in influential ones. The discernment you gained from past betrayals will protect you in new environments. The humility forged through struggle will anchor you when blessings begin to multiply. Heaven does not elevate unprepared spirits, and you have proven through every storm that you're ready. Chosen one. When heaven orchestrates elevation, it often uses the most unexpected vessels. Sometimes the door you've prayed for does not open from your side, it opens from the other. And the person turning the handle is someone heaven has assigned to intervene. That is the role this stranger is stepping into. They are not merely offering assistance, they are unlocking a destiny door that your spirit has been waiting to walk through. Understand that divine connections carry divine timing. You did not meet this person earlier because the environment was not ready. You did not cross paths before because your spirit was still being refined. Now the alignment is perfect. You are ready. They are ready. Heaven is ready. Anointed one. You must also understand the role you play in their life. Divine connections are reciprocal. You carry something their soul has been missing. Your presence brings grounding to their influence, purity to their power, truth to their insights. You are not being elevated to become dependent. You are being elevated to become impactful. And they in turn are being guided toward you so they can fulfill the part heaven has written for them. Chosen one. I want to share a personal truth I learned from a season of my own elevation. Breakthrough often looks like unfamiliar responsibility. When heaven lifts you, it doesn't place you on a pedestal, it places you in purpose. Doors open, yes, but so does your calling. Resources come, yes, but so does responsibility. Influence arrives, yes, but so does impact. What is coming to you is not merely comfort, it is capacity. Heaven is expanding your territory, your opportunities, your audience, and your influence because your spirit is ready to hold what your heart has long desired. Anointed one, lift your eyes. The shift has already begun. The stranger is already being stirred. The relocation is already in motion. Nothing can stop what heaven has set into alignment. Chosen one. As we continue unfolding this revelation, let your heart receive this truth with reverence. Heaven is not merely shifting your location, it is shifting your identity, your influence, and your spiritual authority. This next season of your life will not resemble anything you have experienced before, because what is coming is not an extension of your past. It is a divine interruption of it. The wealthy stranger who is being spiritually nudged toward your life is not responding to your present circumstances, they are responding to your future. They are responding to the version of you that heaven has already seen, already ordained, already established. While others judged you by where you were, this stranger is being divinely guided to see who you truly are. They are catching a glimpse of your destiny even before you fully step into it. Anointed one. Few people understand the weight of being chosen. They see the blessing, but rarely do they understand the breaking that precedes it. You have walked through seasons where life felt like one continuous test, pushing you, stretching you, demanding resilience you didn't know you had. But every test refined you, every disappointment purified you, every heartbreak expanded your capacity to hold wisdom, compassion, and spiritual strength. These qualities are what distinguish you from the crowd. And this wealthy stranger, whether consciously or intuitively, recognizes the depth inside you. They see someone who has been forged, not merely formed. Someone who has been prepared, not pampered. Someone who has not only survived storms, but learned how to interpret them. Chosen one. There are moments in your life when you questioned whether heaven truly saw you. Moments when you wondered why you had to experience so much pain, so much stretching, so much waiting. But heaven's silence is never absence, it is preparation. And now that preparation is revealing its purpose, the stranger's emergence is proof that heaven has not only seen you, it has honored you. The blessing arriving in your life is not charity, it is recognition. Recognition of the seeds you have sown. Recognition of the purity you maintained. Recognition of the battles you fought in silence. Recognition of the destiny you carry. Anointed one. This relocation that is forming around your story is about more than a new environment. It is about spiritual alignment. You are being moved out of places that wounded you into places that will water you. Out of rooms where you were tolerated into rooms where you will be celebrated. Out of circles that confined you into circles that expand you. Some people mistook your humility for insignificance. Some mistook your silence for weakness. Some mistook your kindness for naivety. But heaven never misinterpreted you. Heaven saw your heart clearly, and so did this stranger. They may not know the details of your struggle, but they recognize the integrity of your spirit. Chosen one, let your soul grasp. This people of great wealth and influence often live behind walls, walls built from betrayal, expectation, pressure, and isolation. They are accustomed to interactions that come with agendas. They are used to conversations that mask ulterior motives. They rarely encounter someone whose intentions are pure, whose presence is grounding, whose energy is sincere. That is why your spirit stood out to them. You offered something their money could not buy: authenticity. You didn't chase them, impress them, or perform for them. You were simply you, and that was enough to awaken something in their soul. Anointed one, divine connections are never random. They are written long before they manifest. And when the moment arrives, heaven ensures that both parties are prepared. You were growing in faith, humility, and resilience, while they were growing in awareness, generosity, and spiritual sensitivity. Heaven has synchronized your readiness. Now, your paths are converging not by coincidence, but by covenant. Chosen one, hear this deeply. The elevation you are walking into will require a new version of you, bolder, wiser, more confident in your identity. Not arrogant, but assured. Not prideful, but grounded. Not fearful, but aligned. You will no longer shrink to make others comfortable. You will no longer apologize for your calling. You will no longer dim your light out of habit. This relocation is heaven's way of saying, step into who you really are. Anointed one, allow yourself to embrace the truth that you are worthy of what is coming, worthy of the blessing, worthy of the expansion, worthy of the opportunities, worthy of being supported, celebrated, and seen. You have spent so much of your life pouring into others that receiving may feel unfamiliar. But heaven is teaching you how to receive without guilt, how to elevate without fear, and how to walk in abundance without shrinking your spirit. Chosen one, everything is aligning. The stranger is moving. Destiny is unfolding. And heaven is preparing to reveal a version of your life you once believed was impossible. Chosen one. As we arrive at this final movement of the revelation, let your spirit open fully to what heaven is releasing over your life. You are not at the end of a message, you are standing at the beginning of a new reality. Everything you have walked through, survived, endured, and risen above has led you to this precise juncture in time. The wealthy stranger being drawn toward your path is not a random character entering your story. They are a divine instrument appointed to usher you into a chapter that has been written in heaven long before you ever felt worthy of it. This is not just a blessing. This is a divine verdict. Heaven has ruled in your favor, and now your life must shift to reflect what has already been decreed spiritually. Anointed one, your spirit has been carrying the weight of this transition long before your mind could comprehend it. That tension you felt in recent weeks, the restlessness, the inexplicable urgency, the sense that something was approaching was not anxiety. It was prophecy pressing against the inside of your spirit. Heaven often stirs your soul before it shifts your surroundings. You have been sensing the spiritual winds because heaven has been preparing to move you out of old cycles, old structures, and old limitations. Every feeling of discomfort was a signal. Every intuitive nudge was a message. Every closed door was a divine redirect. And now, as the stranger steps into alignment with your destiny, the invisible pressures you once felt are becoming visible pathways. Chosen one, this final phase of your elevation will require you to see yourself differently. You cannot enter the next environment carrying the mindset of the previous one. You cannot walk into divine placement with the language of survival still on your tongue. You cannot embrace your new season with an identity shaped by old wounds. Heaven is not merely changing where you live. Heaven is changing how you see yourself. For years you carried strength without support, wisdom without recognition, and purpose without platform. That invisibility trained your character. That obscurity protected your calling. But the time of hiding has ended. The time of emergence is here, and the stranger arriving in your life is part of heaven's unveiling. Anointed one. There is something you must understand. When heaven elevates you, it does not simply lift you higher, it surrounds you with the resources to sustain that height. This is why the person coming toward you is equipped with what you have lacked access to. They carry the connections, the finances, the influence, the strategic insight required to position you where your assignment can flourish. Do not diminish what heaven is doing by assuming this is merely assistance. This is alignment. This is covenant movement. This is heaven partnering you with someone whose obedience unlocks your next dimension. They are not just entering your life, they are stepping into their own calling by stepping into yours. You must release the belief that you must struggle alone. You have carried the weight of entire seasons without complaint, convinced that independence equaled strength. But divine destiny was never designed to be walked in isolation. Heaven always sends helpers, sometimes angels, sometimes mentors, sometimes strangers carrying answers wrapped in unfamiliar faces. The wealthy individual heaven is sending toward you carries not only earthly resources, but spiritual significance. They are a sign that your wilderness season has closed. They are a reminder that you were never meant to climb every mountain alone. They are evidence that heaven has prepared a table for you and someone else has been assigned to build the chairs. Anointed. 1. Hear this deeply. Your elevation is not happening because of who they are. It is happening because of who you are. Had you chosen bitterness instead of compassion, you would not be here. Had you chosen revenge instead of forgiveness, you would not be here. Had you chosen comfort instead of growth, you would not be here. Every difficult decision you made aligned you with the path heaven intended. That stranger is not arriving to reward you for perfection. They are arriving because your spirit proved trustworthy. Heaven cannot elevate the unprepared, but you, through fire and trial and silence and waiting, have proven that you can be trusted with more. Chosen one. What is coming will challenge you, stretch you, inspire you, and expand you. You will step into rooms where your voice carries authority. You will be placed in environments where your presence carries weight. You will walk in opportunities that once felt unreachable. And though the transition may feel unfamiliar, your spirit will recognize the alignment instantly because heaven prepared you long before it positioned you. Anointed one, stand still for a moment and feel this in your bones. Your life is changing. Your story is rising. Your destiny is unfolding. And nothing, no force, no fear, no past pain can stop what heaven has already set in motion. The wealthy stranger is coming. The relocation is coming. The elevation is coming. And now finally, after all you have endured, the season you prayed for is stepping into you. Chosen one. As we close this sacred moment, receive this with your whole spirit. The shift is not coming, it has already begun. Heaven has gone before you. The path has been carved, the alignment has been sealed. What God has placed in motion through this divine connection, this wealthy stranger, this supernatural relocation, cannot be undone by fear, doubt, or delay. You are standing in your kairos moment, the appointed time where destiny overtakes history and purpose overtakes pain. Anointed one, walk forward with reverence, with courage, and with expectation. The same God who hid you is now revealing you. The same God who refined you is now elevating you. The same God who sustained you is now transferring grace, opportunity, and favor into your life. Do not shrink. Do not hesitate. This blessing is not accidental, it is assigned. If this word awakened something in you, let your spirit testify in the comments and stay connected so you never miss the next divine release prepared for you. Until we meet again, remain aligned, remain faithful, and remain ready, because the very best heaven has written for you is beginning to unfold right now. Chosen one, step boldly into your new season. Stay awakened.